Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is both amazing and difficult at the same time. The Passport Mommy, Michelle Jerson, is here to share in your journey.
It's amazing. It really is, just watching them grow and see how much change and how much they learn just without the filters around them.
Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. I hope you had another good week, staying sane, staying healthy. I hope you're enjoying the weather wherever you are. I know where I am in the Northeast in Connecticut, the weather has been getting nicer. So that's been a big bonus. And I've been outside as much as I can be with the children. And what I've been seeing is a lot of people are out there, they're running with their jogging strollers, or maybe they have a bike and they're biking with their kids. Maybe their kid is biking next to them. But what happens if your child maybe isn't old enough to bike next to you yet? Well, you get a bike seat. And so for that, I have with me today, Katie Maccarelli. She is a Colorado native. She does public relations for ToPeak. It is a great bike company. They offer toddler seats if you are looking for a seat to put on your bicycle, as well as a wide array of accessories and parts for adults and children's bicycles alike. She grew up on a still operating dairy farm in eastern Colorado, and she just has always loved the outdoors, and that has got her into the cycling industry. Katie, you have such an experience in the cycling industry. It's just so perfect. I feel like you are in the perfect role for you.
I am. Yeah, I've been really lucky to find my passion and have it meld with hobbies and where I live and what I love to do.
That's terrific. So how did you first get into the cycling industry?
That's a great question. I formerly was, in a previous life, I would say, an elementary school teacher. I taught fourth grade. And then when we had kids, we quickly did the math and realized that we would be paying a lot to have somebody else watch them on my teacher's salary. So I was able to stay home with my two little girls at the time. And then as they got, kindergarten, first grade age, I kind of was like, well, the house is pretty clean now. What are we going to do? Right. And I really, at the time, loved to ride bikes. And a position came open with a bicycle advocacy group here in Colorado called Bicycle Colorado. And they were looking for teachers to go into elementary schools, for the most part, middle schools as well, and teach bike safety. Wow. So it was great. It was a nice, flexible schedule. I could do it, during school hours and still race back to get my own kids. And so, for a few years, I was teaching bike safety to elementary schools all across the Front Range. And that was a really wonderful intro to the cycling industry. I learned so much, and it was just so fun. I mean, who doesn't want to teach hundreds of kids to ride bikes every day? So that was a pretty neat jump in. And then I kind of went into more of the marketing realm. I was really good at social media, and I always joke with my daughters, be careful what you're good at, because you might end up doing that as your life. Right. So I kind of migrated to social media and marketing from that position to a company called Feedback Sports. They're a local Golden company. And then I found my position now. I've been with Thorpe Marketing for a few years now, or my second year, doing marketing and PR for multiple brands. So it's been a really neat evolution, and I've got to meet so many wonderful people and dabble with so many different sides of riding bikes and teaching bikes and racing bikes and the full gamut. But I still would say one of my main happy passions is seeing, a little kid outside on the street figuring out how to ride bikes for the first time. Still makes me really happy, even though my kids are now high school age.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it is so rewarding. I mean, I'm trying so hard to get my daughter on her bike. And right now she has one of those balance bikes. And I feel like she is ready to start learning how to pedal with training wheels. What kind of advice would you give somebody who's looking to make that transition into the first bicycle for their child?
That's a great topic. And, when our girls were little, Strider bikes weren't really a thing, except for, maybe for the hardcore cycling industry or people that, had seen them in Europe. And now they're everywhere. And I fully recommend, and you can pick them up on Craigslist, because that is such a great way to teach kids the natural balance. What we battled with a lot, in elementary schools is kids that at the time hadn't learned on a balance bike. And they had learned with training wheels, and they were very reluctant to let go of those. So I would say one of the number one things is if your child is on a balance bike, keep them there until they, just go for almost blocks, where their feet do not touch the ground and they're cornering. They look very comfortable. And then once you're ready to jump to that next bike size, I think it's a 16-inch or 20-inch bike, I would immediately yank the pedals off when you first get that bike. They come off really easily. Just grab a wrench and pull the pedals off and slam the seat to where, when you size a bike for a child, you want it to be appropriately sized. But when they're learning to pedal for the first time, keep it in a Strider-like fashion. Put the seat way down to where they can touch the ground, to where it's very much like their Strider. Get used to that next bike, the weight of it. Usually kids' bikes are pretty heavy, especially in comparison to the Strider. So once they're Stridering on that bike, then you can put the pedals back on and keep that seat nice and low. And we would teach the step, glide phrase, which would be what you see your kids do with a Strider. Step, they're kind of scooting with their feet, and then their feet come up for the glide. And once they can do that step, glide, similar to the Strider, that's when you put the pedals back on. You say, okay, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to look ahead, eyes up where you want to go. Step, glide, your feet will find the pedals. And, just teach them, you're looking ahead. Your feet are so smart. They know exactly where to go. Just trust yourself. But kids that grow up using the Strider typically do really, really well. It's when we throw the training wheels in as parents that kind of messes them up.
Interesting.
Up that natural balance.
And you just taught me something about the Strider, the balance bike, because I guess I didn't even really know how that's supposed to work, because I see her on it and I see her moving it with just her feet. She's like basically walking her bike. And I thought, is that it? I wasn't.
That's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. And I mean, you'll see then with training wheels, if you were to put them on, or, even if you just look at one in the store or at the bike shop, it's impossible to corner properly with a bike with training wheels. It just doesn't work. It's like putting your foot out, or a crutch and trying to turn. It naturally fights your body's balance. Right. So if you can keep that envisioned and, say, trust yourself, where you're going. Eyes ahead is one of the biggest things that we teach even adults. Or older kids, mountain biking, your bike is going to go where you look. So if you're coming up between two trees and you're like, oh no, there's two trees, and you're staring at the tree, that's usually where you're going to steer your bike, is right at that tree. And that's something too, that parents, we kind of forget, or maybe we learned differently. And older kids too, sometimes, we would see kids in middle school that they had learned, a long time ago, but they hadn't ridden bikes in, 5 or 6 years. And especially now with COVID, we're seeing that a lot, where entire families are pulling the bikes back out. And it may have been a while, if your child's into soccer or other sports, you might be surprised that, like, oh yeah, we might have to reteach learning to ride a bike, and that's okay. It's practice. No biggie.
Sure. And now when you do have a young kid and say they are starting on that balance bike, until what age, roughly? I know everybody's different, but should they be on that balance bike before progressing to the next bike?
Oh gosh, Colorado's kind of a skewed area because we have a lot of Olympic level athletes and hardcore cyclists. But I've seen kids as tiny as, not even 2 that have graduated to bike. And then I've seen kids on Striders that are, 4 or 5, and they're really digging it. And there's truly nothing wrong with that. Honestly, a lot of times they can keep up with the family fairly for a long time on a Strider. It's more of when you start to see that, they might be ready for something in terms of like they're topping out. They really are coasting for blocks at a time, and they're, for 3 to 5, 3 to 6 even. There's Striders for older kids as well, even. If that's something that's a hurdle for your child, there's really no rush. They're learning such great balance. That's what I would always tell the older kids that were a little embarrassed. Your balance is so good. Don't push it, because when you do hop on that, you're going to be, blowing everybody else down the block. You're good.
Right. Very nice. Okay. So let's talk about some of the bike products that parents should have around the house for both their bikes and for their kids' bikes, just for safety and to kind of keep up their bike, because I feel like, I love to ride and I have my bike, and occasionally I'll bring it into a bike shop to make sure all is okay, but I don't really know myself what I should be doing.
Yeah, that's so common. And, a lot of times people will take their bike into the bike shop, and trust me, bike shops love the business, but there are so many things that you can do, and very basic things too, to keep your bike in optimal condition, even if you're not, a really savvy bike mechanic. So one of the first things that we would teach kids before they go for a bike ride, and again, adults, I coach a high school mountain bike team. It's kind of just the basics, and we keep it really simple. We call it the ABC quick check. So A stands for air, B stands for brakes, and C stands for your chain. And then quick check means you check kind of everything else. So the tools that you would want to keep around and have with you perhaps on a ride or just at home at the garage, those coincide with that, right? So air, we always want to check our tires air before we go for a ride. And we would always joke with the kids, like, you don't want to be, having a great time with your friends, and you look down, you have a flat, when you could have prevented it. Air, it's like a balloon. The tire just naturally loses air over a couple days, over weeks, especially if you've left it in the garage for a while. So you always want to check the air, and you can just give it a good squeeze. A lot of times if you squeeze the tire and you can pretty much touch your own fingers, it needs air. But
okay, great. And that's good advice.
Really good. Yeah. And so, if it's looking squishy, and as an adult, what I do with mine is I just put my full weight on the saddle, and I kind of look down and see, is my mountain bike or my hybrid bike, is the rim almost touching the ground? It needs air. And what can happen then if it's squishy and you don't have it properly aired up, that just gives more room for debris and thorns, nails, whatever to get in. So if you keep it nice and tight, you're helping yourself not get a flat with that.
Great. So we have to break. We have to break really quickly. I hate to end, but let's hang on to that because I do want to hear more about the air. And then, like you said, also brakes and chain. So we are talking with Katie Maccarelli. She is with ToPeak, the bike company, and she's talking to us all about how to maintain and to make sure that your bike and your child's bike is safe for riding. More coming up in a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. We are speaking with Katie Maccarelli. She is with Thorpe Marketing, and she handles the PR for the bike company ToPeak. And you may have seen their bike seats on the back of people's bicycles. They carry your toddlers around, and they're really a great way to get your toddler up on the bicycle. And I know that I've been pushing it, and I have my 3-year-old daughter in front of me in a bike seat that is probably just at the end of its life cycle for her, because I've seen these ToPeak bike seats, and they offer just so much room and so much comfort for your little one in the back. But I'm thrilled to be talking with Katie because she is talking with us about all of the things that we should know about to keep our own bikes safe. Because especially if you're carrying your children in them, you want to make sure that you have everything the way it's supposed to be. Katie, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Cause near and dear to my parenting heart.
So we were talking about the ABCs and what to look out for. And you were saying air, brakes, and chain. So fill us in more about air, brakes, and chain.
So yeah, air. You always just want to check that your tires are properly aired up. And a good way to find out what the proper air pressure is with a bike pump, on the side of every tire, it's always listed of the proper PSI recommendation. So whether it's a child's bike tire, whether it's a road tire, mountain tire, it always lists it right there with PSI. And the easiest way to do that would be to have a bike pump at home. You can use hand pumps. They take a little bit longer if it's a bigger tire. But hand pumps are great to have with you on the ride if you start losing air, or if you've got a patch kit, you can replace the tube and then air it back up. So a good bike pump, they don't have to cost $1 bazillion. But it's worth it for a family of bikes for sure. ToPeak makes tons. They've been making them since, early 90s for sure. So, and it's one of their Joe Blow series is one of the top, selling products of all time. And there's multiple price points. So that will really help you get out of the garage fast with the air. Brakes, simple, doesn't have to be complex. Brakes, you just want to squeeze your brakes and make sure they work. You'd be surprised at how many times you might do this after it's been in the garage for a while, or kids' brakes. It's a great idea to make sure as your kids grow that they really can reach the brakes, or they're not too big, or they're not placed in an awkward position where they really have to turn their wrists and squeeze super hard, it's a good idea to test the brakes on theirs with your own hands so you know the pressure that it actually takes for them to stop. Kids' bikes sometimes just can be really clunky and they're just heavier and just usually not as nice because kids, grow through them pretty quickly. So It's a good idea to just test the brakes. And if the brakes aren't working, if you squeeze one and it just goes completely to the frame, or to your handlebars, definitely take it into a bike shop if you're not quite sure. Sometimes it's just a little cable got disconnected, but you definitely want to have both of those brakes. So air, brake, and that can really be done. This ABC quick check can be done in about 1 minute, if you were quickly going through stuff before a ride, if there's nothing wrong.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Air and brakes. And then chain is very easy. And this is one of the most overlooked and probably reasons that people have to get things replaced and have breakdowns is the chain. So a couple things on your chain. You want to keep it clean, but not like soap and water scrubby clean all the time. What we do is when we go for a ride, we come back and that's when we lube our chain. And any bike shop, Target, Walmart will have chain lube. And you just basically put some drops on the chain as you're moving the chain around, as you're pedaling with the bike, kind of either, pull the rear wheel off the ground. And you just go through it a couple of rotations. Then you let it sit. And before your next ride, that's when you wipe the excess chain lube off with just an old T-shirt or whatever. If you look at your chain and it's bright orange, it needs some work. So that's where the rust would have taken over. That might need a lot of chain lube or sometimes even a replacement. But just lubing your chain every once in a while doesn't have to be every time. But doing that every time and making sure that when you pedal, it's properly rotating. Sometimes chains stretch out. And what'll happen is you'll be trying to go up a hill and it'll just keep clicking and it won't quite catch. And that's just an indicator that, your chain is old and it probably needs a little work. So air, brakes, chain. And then I give my bike and my kids' bikes just a little kind of rattle. I pick it up and just kind of, bounce it a little bit. And that's where I'm going to see is the quick release on the wheel nice and tight. We've seen that often. You will have just ridden your bike and then over time, that little quick release that keeps the wheel on will just kind of flip out or just get loose. So you just want to make sure that everything's nice and tight and nothing rattles. In general, if something's rattling, you just tighten it back up. But that's a very quick way to make sure that everybody's good to go before you get out on your bike.
That's great advice because like you said, I do the brakes, I do the tires, I do not do the chains. So I'm going to check that out later. And what about, you had talked about when you get back, that's a time to lube your chain right away. What other things should you do?
I'm a big proponent of helmets. So of course, when our girls were really little, we had kind of, hang your helmet on your handlebars or hang your helmet on your hook. Kids tend to buy into things obviously more, as you know, if the parents are doing it. So, keeping your helmet on, wearing gloves, that's kind of a cool thing that kids love sometimes, like, ooh, we're going to get you some cool little gloves. But for an adult, I tell you what, it only takes one time to fall on your bike to realize how you put your hands out and how much you use your hands. So
yes,
protecting your hands with gloves is something I always recommend and just keeping them there. But yeah, when you get home, put everything in its place. Encourage your kids. There have been many bike rides, and I see them all the time where entire families are crying.
Oh, man.
That's okay. Just know you might make it 1 block. You might make it 6 miles. When they're older, they will certainly have good memories, and it's okay to know you ran out of water or somebody needed a Band-Aid and they didn't have it. Just take note of those things. Hey, we didn't have Band-Aids. We should put that in a pack to carry with us next time. Gosh, we needed sunscreen. We should definitely have that. So as soon as I get home, I try to make a mental note. What went well, what didn't, and what could I do next time?
Perfect. That is such great advice. Katie Maccarelli, thank you so much for joining me. Where can people go for more information?
Absolutely. ToPeak.com has all sorts of things, whether it's tire levers, the baby seat, which works, by the way, with racks and other things to carry. So if you're cargoing and wanting to mix and match, ToPeak.com has a lot of wonderful things. And then I would say for parenting side and where to go and what to do for riding, every state usually has its own bicycle advocacy group with tons of resources on everything from how to get your child to ride bikes to where to go to maps and all those things. So check out your local resources and your local bike shops And bike shops love to talk about those things too, by the way. So if you're not sure on something, ask. I mean, COVID's a little tricky now, but bike shops love to give advice and tell you where to go and how to make things easier for you and your family.
Yes, absolutely. And now is the perfect time to get out there and get on your bikes with your family. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. So you know I love featuring women and women who have small businesses. And for that, I love perusing Etsy because you can find so many unique companies, women doing really cool things, making really neat products. And recently I was on Etsy because I was looking for something for my son's first birthday. And I always use the website when it comes to finding items for a cake smash or a cute birthday shirt or whatever the case may be. And I've found some really unique, nice products. And so this time when I was going around the website, I came across this really cute shop called 789 Apparel, 7 and then 8, ATE, 9 Apparel. And I was looking at their quarantine t-shirts, and one of them was, I turned one while I was in quarantine, and it shows a picture of toilet paper. And I just thought, that's really cute. And that's something that years from now, it'll be really cute to have that picture and to remember this time, because it's definitely a unique time. So I reached out to Tessa Crepane. She is with 789, and she started the business with her business partner, Liz. Hi, Tessa. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about 789 Apparel and how you both got started.
Well, we kind of I always like to say we stumbled into the business. It was nothing we had planned. Both of us worked 9-to-5 jobs in the corporate world, and we both always kind of were creative people and just wanted to break out of that and decided to start a business on our own. We'd been friends, Liz and I, my business partner, we've been friends since elementary school. So working together was just kind of like an extension of our friendship. We'd worked together in the corporate world before, so we knew we worked well together and knew we had fun working together, and just thought, we'd give it a shot and start with, doing something creative. And when we started our business, we were doing more like party decorations, and decided to add apparel to kind of go along with the different themes for party decorations that we had. And so that quickly ramped up to learning that apparel was definitely, there was a bigger market for it than party decor. So we kind of abandoned that side of it and jumped full steam ahead into doing apparel.
Interesting. And so how do you run your apparel shop? Do you design and make everything on your own? Do you work with another company to, get them produced?
Yeah, I think it's something that makes our business really unique. All of our products are designed, printed, packaged, and shipped in-house. So we can kind of guarantee a great experience for our customers every step of the way. We originally started with sublimation printing, which is a different type of printing, a little closer to screen printing, and then decided we didn't like that. So we do direct-to-garment printing, which is essentially a really large printer that you load a shirt onto, and it prints just like kind of a regular printer would. The prints are they're more vibrant, they're more durable than screen printing or sublimation or vinyl or iron-on transfers, whatever else is out there. So we really did our research to find out what was going to work the best for us, and really wanted to be making quality apparel. And we kind of outsourced with a company to find the perfect brands of shirts. We spent a lot of time picking our kind of blank shirts that we wanted to be printing on, because we wanted to make sure we had something quality, something soft, something that we would like to wear. So we do all of our printing and all of our designing and shipping. Everything is done in-house.
Wow, that's incredible. And I will say that I've also done the iron-on transfer route. And the first time I did it, I was really happy with it. The second time, I had to go through 3 before I got it right, just because of my own abilities. Yeah. And then after that, it says that you can wash it, no problem. And I turned it inside out, put it in the washing machine, and then it all cracked. And so it was a little disappointing. So I think definitely worth spending a little bit more, and your price is still extremely affordable for a really cute product.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We've worked hard to, be competitive in the market and to be able to give everyone something that they can afford, because a lot of the stuff that we're doing, like our birthday shirts, it's, a one wear thing. I mean, I know a lot of kids will wear them past their birthday, but, and especially we're doing a lot of kids apparel, and kids grow out of it so quickly. So we didn't want to have a really high price point where people are having to pay a ton of money just for one birthday shirt.
Right, exactly. So what type of birthday shirts do you do? Are they personalized? What kind of designs?
On Etsy, we do a lot of custom stuff. So it's normally like a design, and then you customize the kid's name or the age or things like that. We have kind of something for every themed birthday, I like to say. Okay. But the most popular things that we have are dinosaur shirts are by far the most popular item that we sell. Everyone wants a dinosaur shirt. Everyone likes the dinosaur theme. And, we make sure that we have them for the whole family, so the whole family can be coordinated on their birthday. Unicorn shirts are also really popular, but yeah, we try to make sure that the whole family could be wearing them. Something for the brother and the sister and the mom and the dad and the grandparents, so that everyone could be coordinated on their birthday.
That's great. Yeah, because like you said, it might be a one-time wear, but I feel like we take a lot of pictures on the birthday, and that's something that you will put in an album if you still make an album, or a photo book, and something that you'll want to look back on, years from now.
Yes.
So tell me how you two grew a successful business, because I feel like there are a lot of women out there who are sitting at home and maybe they're very busy, especially right now with their kids and managing the kids. And they're thinking, I have no time. I would love to do a business, but I have no time to get it off the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does take time, but I think that just like diving in and just going full steam ahead is really what kind of made our business successful. We were really all in from the beginning, and just really doing your research and making sure that you're getting the right equipment and doing something that is that you're passionate about, that you're going to enjoy every day, is really important. And then really learning the marketing side of the business that you are interested in is really important, because marketing is definitely what grew our business. And learning, it was not something that was either me or Liz's forte, but learning SEO and search algorithms and things like that, which was not something either of us were familiar with at all. So we had to really learn all of that and, be able to quickly shift and maneuver our products and our keywords based on algorithms was really important to growing our business. And then just taking that big leap sometimes, that leap of faith, and just saying, let's dive in and buy this big machine or spend this big amount of money on marketing. And I know not a lot of people have the opportunity or the ability to do that, but, taking the biggest step that you can and putting your faith in your business is really going to help to grow your business. Just being all in, I think, is like my biggest piece of advice for anyone starting a new business. Just be all in.
That's good advice, because I feel like a lot of people, they kind of dip their toes in and they want to be all in. But like you said, then they're afraid, whether it's the investment, whether it's the time, whether it's learning a new skill, because people feel, oh, maybe I just should do something that I already know and that I'm good at, as opposed to challenging themselves.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's really important just to, challenge yourself. And there's so much information and knowledge on the internet these days. You can figure out and learn whatever you need to learn to make your business successful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what are you doing besides your business, which I'm sure is taking up a lot of time during this time of COVID?
Well, it's mostly the business right now, because this is typically our really slow season. We do a lot of things during the holidays, so we're usually busy in the fall, and this is typically our slow season. And with the quarantine shirts, we've been extremely busy, which is not normal for us this time of year, and also having to do different types of social distancing in order to run our business has been really difficult to get orders out. So it's been mostly business, but aside from that, just a lot of Netflix, like most people, and spending a lot of time with my dog, and just trying to stay sane the best I can.
Right. Well, I'm so happy for you that during this time, the business has definitely increased. So I came across that quarantine shirt, which I thought was really cute. What other shirts around the quarantine, or what other products are you offering?
We've got a lot of quarantine shirts, and this is something really new for us, because we're not typically designing shirts like on a trend basis. I know there's a lot of stuff out there where something happens and people put up shirts because it's the new trendy saying, the new trendy thing, but it's not something that we normally would do. So it was interesting to try to learn how to design and put things up really quickly. Normally, I'm a few seasons ahead of designing new products. So yeah, and we've got kind of every saying across the book. It was really difficult at first getting things up on Etsy and Amazon. We're also sell on Amazon because a lot of the keywords were blocked in the beginning, and you weren't allowed to use words like quarantine and social distancing. And so we spent a lot of time kind of on the phone with Etsy and Amazon, figuring out why is it that we're not allowed to use these words? Is that going to change? And it was just kind of like, found out it was just kind of a quick block that they put on everything to try to stop price gouging and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, once we were able to make it through that hurdle, it was just like, the sky's the limit. I put up every saying that I'd heard or that my friends and family had been saying, just put them all up on a t-shirt or a baseball tee or a sweatshirt. And then I think it was about a month into it when I started seeing things about people having birthdays in quarantine. And I was like, oh, well, everyone's going to need a shirt for that. So I started making the cute little birthday shirts with the toilet paper on them, and just thought it was really fun and a cute and a fun way to celebrate and remember this quarantine time.
Yes, absolutely. Because like you said, that you're never usually one to design during a trend. When I first saw these quarantine shirts, I'm like, I'm not getting one of those for my son. I'm like, I'm just going to treat his birthday as though it's his birthday, and we're not going to make a deal out of it that we're in quarantine. Like, big deal. Like, our life is not that much different now than it usually is.
Yeah.
But then I thought, you know what? When I saw yours, as opposed to, like, I've seen a lot of them and a lot of them look very similar. And then when I saw yours, I just thought, oh, that looks really cute. And so I thought, okay, why not? Let's do it. So I do think it's a great idea. And like you said, they're very cute, and it's something where people can remember this time. So you mentioned that you are on Amazon. How can people find you there? Do they just search the number 7 and then 8 ATE9 apparel?
Yeah, they can search that, or Amazon.com/78ATE9 apparel.
Okay, great. And same thing on Etsy?
Yes.
Perfect. That is such a cute name too. I have to ask, we have 30 seconds left. How did you come up with that name?
You know, we tried a whole bunch of different names, just trying to find the right thing and trying to find one that was available as a website. And then my sister said that joke one day, and we were like, yep, that's it. That's the name.
It's so cute. And your logo too. I mean, it's really funny. I think you just hit the nail on the head with everything. It totally encapsulates your business and what you do.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tessa, thank you so much for joining me today. Tessa Kripane, she is one of the creators of 789 Apparel. You can find their really cute products on Etsy and Amazon. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. More coming up in a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. So as you know, I love featuring women in business, especially when it comes to gender equality and just highlighting women's accomplishments, no matter their field. Today, I have with me Rithika Gunner. She is the Vice President of Data and AI Expert Services and Learning at IBM. Hi, Rithika. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Michelle. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about what IBM is doing in announcing their annual list of women leaders in artificial intelligence, because I love this. It really recognizes and shines a light on women who are just leading change and driving innovation through the use of AI.
Absolutely. In a continued effort to push gender equality in AI, IBM is showcasing over 35 women leaders in AI across a variety of industries in 12 countries around the world who are using AI to drive transformation, growth, innovation across a variety of industries. The leaders we have chosen are selected because they themselves and their companies are demonstrating the power of AI to help improve their business and work for their customers and their employees. This is an annual recognition program that we use to be able to celebrate the honorees' accomplishments, but also for them to create a peer network for them to learn from each other and discover approaches for applying AI. One additional benefit that I think is really important is it showcases for other female leaders that it is possible to be a leader in technology, in artificial intelligence, and make a difference as a female, and that is extremely important. Each of these honorees are leading at least one AI project in their business and delivering powerful results.
That's amazing. So how were the honorees chosen?
So the honorees were chosen by the thousands of different projects that we work with our clients on driving AI in their organizations. And through the multiple different types of work that they are doing, we selected particular females who have done at least one project in their business, one or more that are either business or technical, making an impact on their organization.
Mm-hmm. Great, terrific. And so can you share some of the initiatives that these women have led who you're highlighting?
Yeah, let me give you a couple of examples. One of them is Siemens. And Siemens, they have an AI-based HR virtual assistant called Carl. And it serves as a 24/7 point of contact for the over 380,000 employees at Siemens to be able to ask HR-related questions in many languages on multiple hundreds of different topics, ultimately improving the employee satisfaction and decreasing repetitive tasks that other humans would be tasked to do. So in this particular case, IBM Watson Assistant and Watson Discovery was used. Another example is Japan Airlines that introduced Mechanic-Con, built on Watson Assistant many years ago. And this actually uses our AI capabilities to stimulate demand for travel to particular countries like Hawaii or states like Hawaii.
That's incredible. I mean, to me, it's just, obviously somebody who's outside the realm of AI, I'm always in awe of everything that is going on, and especially these women who are at the forefront of it. So why is this kind of recognition important?
If you look at AI, it's a very dynamic career for females, and it's very needed to be able to have the diversity in AI. Today, it's estimated that only 26% of AI professionals are female globally. And so we want to be able to encourage that diversity and that equality of having more females in this field. And, we did a joint study, and we found that while men and women working in AI were equally likely to be interested in math and sciences growing up, men working in AI were more likely to be told that they had a natural talent for the hard sciences than women, while women are more likely to be told that they have a natural talent for the humanities, social sciences, and fine arts. And so it's because of data like this that we feel like it's important to be able to shine a light about women in technology and in areas like artificial intelligence, to hold them up more prominently, to give them confidence and role models to know that they can be extremely successful in roles that require math and science.
100%. I really applaud what you're doing. So tell me, how is AI changing people's lives?
AI is ubiquitous across everything that we do, and it's going to become only more pervasive, whether AI is really about, from everything you're doing, about how you book things on your airlines, your home assistants, how you interact with every organization, every company. AI is part of that. And so having an understanding of that and having a knowledge that technology and artificial intelligence is making such an immense impact on our lives is important for everyone to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Rithika Gunnar, thank you so much for joining me today, the VP of Data and AI Expert Services and Learning at IBM. And thank you for honoring all of these amazing women. Where can people go just to read more about the honorees and more about what you're doing?
Well, thank you, Michelle. Listeners can go to IBM.com for more information, and there will be more information about some of these women in AI.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.